Russian investigators have confirmed that Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin is among the 10 people killed in this week's plane crash.
Genetic tests have also confirmed that the 62-year-old right-hand man, Dmitry Utkin, is also among the dead. Investigators have not confirmed the cause of the crash, but reports suggest that Russian soldiers could have been behind Wednesday's incident.
Prigozhin spearheaded a short-lived mutiny in June. At the time, Russian President Vladimir Putin said it could have tipped the country into civil war.
The mutiny was ended by negotiation, which saw Prigozhin agree to relocate to neighboring Belarus.
В рамках уголовного дела о крушении самолета в Тверской области завершено проведение молекулярно-генетических экспертиз. По их результатам личности всех 10 погибших установлены. Они соответствуют списку, заявленному в полетном листе.
Your sport with Gwena in a moment.
A very good evening to you once again. Players and fans gave their backing to Jennifer Hermoso, displaying a banner and wearing shirts with a message of support at La Liga matches played today. In Cadiz, the players displayed a huge banner on the pitch before their match against Almeria, while Sevilla players walked onto the pitch before facing Girona wearing shirts written, "It's over." Hermoso is at the center of a controversy after being given a kiss on the lips by Spain's football president Luis Rubiales. This after the 33-year-old scored the winning goal in last week's World Cup final against England. Rubiales faces a FIFA suspension and a storm of criticism about his behavior, with Spain's Football Federation set to meet urgently tomorrow. Right now we chat to South African hockey defender Erin Christie. Christie got her first cap for the South African ladies hockey team in 2014. She donned the green and gold at the 2018 Commonwealth Games in Australia, as well as the World Cup in England. She displays great leadership abilities, having captained the national side at the 2020 Summer Olympics. And she joins us now. Erin, good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, Quina. Thanks so much for having me.
Let's start with just hockey. Why hockey? And share with us your earliest memories of playing the game.
Yeah, so my earliest memories of playing the game would probably be around the age of 8. I'm the youngest of 3 children. I've got 2 older brothers, and so obviously being the younger child, I always wanted to be more and more like my brothers. So they actually started playing hockey, and I got into it wanting to be like them. And absolutely fell in love with the game. And, I think as the years went on, being in a team environment is something that I absolutely love. Working together towards a common goal has been amazing. Then my sights were set, my goals were set, and, kind of had to overcome a couple of hurdles, along the way, but, managed to end up playing for the South African women's hockey team.
Well, as you say, being raised with 2 older brothers, one would have thought you would have gone to a more rougher sport.
Yeah, no, I think there were definitely some rugby matches in the garden, but a lot of cricket games in the garden, and that hand-eye coordination. But for me, my first love was hockey, and so that's the sport I chose.
And what would you say has been the driving force behind making you such a successful and a driven athlete?
For me, I'm a very passionate person, so I'm passionate about hockey and I'm passionate about this country, and so, putting those two things together has been amazing for me. But as an athlete, I'm someone who is resilient. That's why I have been included in the Ryobi Won't Quit crew, which is a wonderful team that recognizes athletes that show resilience and overcome hurdles. And I think through my resilience, I've learned to overcome all the challenges that I've faced and continue fighting for a goal that I'd set when I was probably in grade 9. And that goal was one day standing in the green and gold, singing the national anthem and representing my country along with my teammates.
Tell me about that Won't Quit crew. What does it mean to be part of it?
For me, it's fantastic to be recognized as an athlete who has shown resilience and has overcome hurdles. But it's also amazing to be given a platform to tell my story. As a South African sportswoman, to get my story out there and for people to see, what it takes to make it at the top, it has been great. I mean, for me and my team, I'm hoping that the Ryobi Won't Quit crew not only gets people talking about Erin Christie, but also gets people talking about the South African women's hockey team. Because, we are going places and we have a goal in mind, but we need the support of everyone out there and we need financial support. So for me, being a part of the Ryobi Won't Quit crew is a fantastic way to tell my story and also to inspire athletes who perhaps are facing similar hurdles of injury, funding, etc. To inspire them to continue going on that journey and to give them the message that it definitely is all worth it in the end.
And I mean, what would you say from somebody who's within the game is the state of hockey in South Africa and more specifically women's hockey?
For me, Kwena, the talent is there. I mean, there's no doubt South African women are talented. I mean, we are talented sportswomen who deserve the opportunity to represent our country on the biggest stages possible. So the talent is there. We, unfortunately, at the moment, do not have the financial backing to put together a program which sets us up to compete with the best in the world. And I think that is where, at the moment, the South African women's hockey team is falling short, is that we do not have professional program in place due to a lack of funding. But for me, the talent is there and the will is there and the passion is there. And that's why me and my team are continuously defying the odds and continuously moving together in order to work as best as we can, to be as prepared as we can. But it is tough without a professional program. We get to big international tournaments and we're playing against teams who only have to focus on hockey, whereas we all have other jobs and other focuses. But once again, resilience is such an important thing, and it's something that me and my team have adopted as one of our key standards that we want to make sure we show, because no matter what, no matter the odds that we face, we want to make sure that we are doing everything we can in our power to do our country proud.
You're also a teacher. How do you balance the two, playing professional hockey and being a teacher?
Yeah, so it has been a big challenge. I've been teaching for the past 5 years. And it's fantastic to have people out there who are willing to support me. And I was fortunate enough to go to a school or to teach at a school rather, where the staff were so supportive of my sporting career. But I actually, I am getting older, and so this will be my last little go at hockey. And so my husband and I made the decision at the end of last year. I actually took a step down from teaching because it was becoming difficult for me to balance the two. And so I'm doing some other work at the moment. So that I can focus more and more on hockey and give this next couple of months before the Olympics the best go I can.
Would you say that is the big plan, the big idea for you to aim for next year's Olympics and I guess, just give it your all, not only as an individual but also as Team South Africa?
100%, Quinn. I think, obviously as a South African women's hockey team, our first goal will be to qualify for the Paris 24 Olympics, and we will do that at the end of October. We've got the Africa Road to Paris tournament taking place in Pretoria. So that is definitely our first goal. Will be to qualify through Africa. And then once we've got that ticket, all sights will be on the Paris 24 Olympics. And, you know, me and my team, we're not going there to just participate. We want to compete. And that's the message that we are strongly unified in. We want to go there and be as prepared as possible. And on the biggest international sporting stage, we want to make sure that people know that we mean business and that we are prepared enough to put up a good fight against any team in the world.
Erin, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for coming through to talk to us. That is Erin Christie talking to us just about their plans to qualify for the Olympics, but also just sharing with us her love for the game of hockey.